What do you do with the former World War II Army Air Force base when you're finished with it? I know, race cars around it. Welcome to Sebring here in Florida, where Monday Night Skippys is coming to you right next. Stick with us. Welcome to Racebot TV and iRacing Live here. Rachel Eifert and Linus Brostrom bringing you Monday Night Skippys, the finale. We are here in sunny Sebring in Florida, USA, for the final duel. Who will come out in second of the championship? Will it be the likes of our man Gary Tall? Or how about our chap Stuart Adcock, who will make it that second step of the podium? Tom Ward has the points in the bag for first, but who comes off second? That will be the true fight we see. Third place locked up with Bill Fraser. You'll see those points on the screen in just a second. Martin Turner in fifth. Those guys are all looking pretty much secure where they are. John Sully in sixth place as well. Behind them, Gareth Dorning, Jake Tucker, Stuart McFadden, ninth place joined as well. Mick Watson and Matt Cox in 10th. Salinas, things have been really interesting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they have, and well, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I can't find Stuart Adcock on the list of people who have qualified for this race.
Well, that makes an interesting change to the book, so it could well be that this one goes by default to Gary Tall for second place. We'll have to see. But qualifying is completed. We will go on your rundown of who starts where. Ian Halliburton, second race of the season for him. Pole position, 223.674. Gareth Dorning in second place. Chris Malcolm in third, with Stephen Ware in fourth. Gary Tall back in fifth place. Brian Holmes in sixth spot. Let's see him return. Neil Bontemps in seventh. Matt Cox, Ryan Terry, Ben Daniels, your top 10. Rest of those positions up on your screen. I'd see Paul Thurston qualifying well there in 12th place, Linus. Big names further back, new names further forwards. This could be a very interesting race.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one, and see what these new drivers can do. And people who aren't used to starting up front, can they hold it together? Can they cope with the pressure and the people racing for positions in the championship? Will they take risks or will they take it easy?
That's what we'll have to find out, of course. We'll see what will come of this one, as they are on the starting grid now for the final round of this Season 2 before we start onto Season 3 in 2 weeks' time. Cars lined up now, ready to go. We'll have this one underway in just a few moments' time here. The last time at Sebring before we took a week off for week 13, of course. Don't forget, tomorrow we get two very nice presents from iRacing. Ferrari GT car and the Ford GT. There are plenty of people here who can't wait, especially with Le Mans coming up this weekend. Don't forget, you can catch up live on iRacing's YouTube channel and Racebot TV. All the action. The engines will rev now. Kane Halliburton in his second race of the series will start on pole position, and green flag is out.
Someone's not going off the grid.
That's right, Linus. What do we have it? It was further back in the field, I believe.
From 6th place, he didn't get going until 5 seconds late, so he's back in like 25th, 30th now, I think.
Oh, problem for him as through the first corner, Malcolm moves himself up to 2nd place very quickly. As back will drop even Wareham. And a couple of the cars moving forward as well. Some shuffling towards the front there. There's a big jump early on. It's Gareth Dorning. He's up in 2nd place right now, starting there. 3rd place, Chris Malcolm has dropped back behind Stephen Wareham. Gary Tall, Brian Holmes all the way back, as you mentioned, in very dense traffic there to 34. Had a couple of crashes at the rear of the field. We'll try and show those, Linus. Did we see what happened?
I'm trying to figure out what that was. I'm not really sure, but it was just some slight contact. Someone outbraked himself and went in the grass. Nothing major, actually.
Okay, we'll move back that one later, but back towards the front of your field. And there's already been a bit of a breakaway for the top 4. Halliburton, Dorning, Malcolm, Wareham. Pulled a small gap with Gary Tall trailing just a little bit behind that front group. Qualifying time was the first in the 24s. Everybody else 2/10 faster in qualifying. After a big impact there behind them, though. Things very spread out here in that second group with Bontemps, Cox, Terry, Daniels, Linus. Front pack really pulling away. Gary Tall struggling to keep up there, although he has managed to hook onto the back of that train.
Yeah, the first 6 cars are doing a good job. The front 4 actually are pulling away. Now they're going side by side for 3rd as well, which is holding them up. So Gary Tall is coming right up on the back of them again, but these 6 looks like it's going to be the ones fighting, and then we have 4 cars a bit further back. I don't know why they're dropping back, because they're not fighting, but they just can't keep up at the moment.
Not just yet. We'll keep our eyes on this. Not look actually back at the mid-pack here, Linus. One of the drivers this season who's been an interesting one has been, of course, well, our Scottish friend. He's been a regular in the series, Bill Fraser. And he's done some fantastic things so far. Sitting 4th in the points for the first time for him. That's the highest he'll finish. And I've been trying to look for his name. That's why I've been stalling, because I can't find his name on the list. But don't see him.
He's actually pulled out of the race, I think. No,
we have contact with the 83. Oh, Chris Malcolm there. Problems in Sunset Bend. We'll get a replay of what happened for him.
We got a crash in the last corner as well.
That was what we're talking about. As Chris Malcolm comes down, dives inside Dorning. He dove inside the car of Gareth Dorning, hits him, he spins out, he spins himself out. 2 victims out of your top 5. Quite an unusual crash there, as we'll look back towards the front. Tall up to 3rd place now, having gotten 2 places for the price of none. Matt Cox behind him in the 4th spot, with Jake Tucken out to 5th place, as you mentioned. Bill Fraser all the way back in the back of your field, and Peter Cowan's just had a big problem as well. He's spun out trying to enter pit road. So that's an unusual one for Peter Cowan, a very experienced driver. Must have had contact. We'll see what we can see. He comes through the final sequence and loses the back end. Spins out. Oh, wow. Unusual to see an experienced driver like that have such big issues.
Yeah, maybe he's just feeling the pressure, or maybe he's not practiced enough. We got a side-by-side for the leader here now, between Ken Halliburton and Steve Wareham.
Halliburton and Wareham doing what they need to do here, as I think that's Stephen Wareham making it through. It is the Madhouse Racing Machine taking the lead here at Sebring. Names we've not really commented on at the front, Linus, for a long time, or ever in some of these cases. It's great to see new leaders in these races.
Yeah, it is, but we got Gary Toll right behind him as well, who's all of a sudden up to 3rd and right on the back of this lead pack. And if they're going to go side by side again, Toll will be right there, and I think we will have a usual name back in the lead before too long.
It does depend, of course. You saw his qualifying time. Tall, 0.2 per second slower than the rest of these guys in qualifying. Could be a sign he might not be able to hold that lead if he can get to it. But right now, sitting on the back there of Kane Halliburton, along with Stephen Wareham, as the front 3 have broken away. Matt Cox back in 4th spot there. He's dropped back a little bit as it goes too wide for the lead. Halliburton and Wareham, Paul staying behind them, leading us rather respectable distance there, holding his position for now. As they'll go too wide into Sunset, as he expected him to make contact again and give him a freebie. He'll look to the inside there of Halliburton. Will get a good run. Gary Tall will put a little bit of pressure on. Looks to the outside line, defensive line here by Halliburton. And Tall find a way to get through this place and find opportunity. Doesn't see nowhere to go. See if he'll manage anything here in the first corner. We look for the undercut coming out of the first corner. Not going to happen at this time. So behind them, Cox and Tucker have managed to pair up now. So we'll see them move forwards behind that group. Bontemps on his own. Daniels on his own. Loins at a head of a pack here, Linus. Big traffic here with Loins, Plumley, Hefford, Middleton, Singley. And wow, what looks to be the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of about 8 or 9 cars, and they're going at it big style now, which is why they're dropping so much. They drop a few seconds a lap to the leaders actually by doing this, but we got some great racing going on back here.
Oh, we certainly do have some fantastic racing. Plumley's moved to the front of that group there for now. As looking at Brian Loins there, back in the third spot in that group in the Renault, behind Steve Hefford, who's had some very good runs this season, Linus. Hefford's been a very good performer. Tim Adcock, also surprisingly consistent as always. Never seems to falter from his regular kind of mid-top 10 positions, mid-top 15s. Right now sitting in 14th spot behind Ryan Terry, a new driver. Nick Sigley there just ahead of him as well, as they'll look towards the back there of Loins, who has dropped a number of spots here. A number of cars past him, including Plumley, Hefford, Middleton, Sigley. So that tight group towards the front of them are currently battling out for their spots, and it is at the moment the car there of, I believe, Neil Middleton that's gotten to the front of that group. No, actually I'm wrong, it's Steve Hefford.
It's going to be interesting to see though what will happen to him when they come on the very long straightaway here before the end of the lap, because if the draft here works like he usually does, he's going to be passed by about 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, he certainly will be passed by a good group of cars if they can get a good run out here from Monte Carlo Bend. Not going to be big enough one this time though. Other than Plumley, who is right behind him. I don't see a lot of chance even for him. He's not gaining fast enough. Although now, big suck up, but he'll dive to the inside. Hefford doesn't even go defensive yet. Stays on his line. Knows he's got a good chance to make an undercut if he pushes wide. Loins with a bit of a dive. Hefford runs very wide there. Very wide. Gonna have to lift off. And will likely lose not 1 but 2 spots here as Loins will go past. And also behind him, that is, I believe,
Neil
the
Middleton.
machine of Middleton, yeah, who's looking like he had a great run as well in that time. Not going to have a chance though, will be Loins for now, but Hefford will just hold that inside. Big run there by Brian Loins. Can he cut to the inside for 2? He does look to the inside. No, he backs out again. Will sit behind Hefford there. Not wanting to risk that move, is behind him into the corner, 2 wide. Behind them, we've got Darrell Taylor diving in there. Elbows out for one of the banana machines. Banana's back in 15th, and Banana's out front as well. Racing alongside another Madhouse entry. That is Ryan Terry. We look up to the front of your field for some more Bananas. Now that top 3 has become a top 5, top 6 here, Linus. Wareham's still out front, ahead of Halliburton. Paul in 3rd place, riding patiently. Jake Tucker, Matt Cox, Neil Bontemps, and Ben Daniels. And it does seem as Tucker's actually moved forwards on Cox, up to 4th place.
Yeah, Tucker's had a great race so far, started in P11 and he's just kept it clean, and now he's up to P4. He's going in here for P3 on the inside of Toll, and he's actually going to move up to 3rd. Don't know what happens to Toll there. I think he got loose off the turn or something, because he was really slow going onto that straightaway.
Yes, he certainly was. As move attempted here by Kane Halliburton. Going to have a look right under the rear wing there of Stephen Wareham coming up towards turn number 10. Trying to be careful about this one. He wants to have a look, but he seems racy. He doesn't want to particularly push himself alongside there. Although we've seen Tucker get past Toll. Toll with a mistake just a minute ago. We'll actually wind back and have a look at that one, because Gary Toll, we missed that on the camera, I think. But Gary Toll making an uncharacteristic mistake there. And it wasn't really a mistake, it was just slow through that sequence of 8, 9, 10 Linus. And Tucker got to the inside, almost opened the door for himself and shoved his foot through.
Yeah, that was really weird to see. I can't really see why he would be so slow going out of that turn, but he's right back on the back of him now, so he'll be looking to move back up through those, past those 3 cars shortly.
Yeah, we certainly will, of course, as Tucker then going to dive to the outside there of Halliburton. Tucker on a real charge here. Bit of a great run towards turn number 1 as he gets the suck up from Wareham. Clear into 2nd place for Jake Tucker. Gary Toll diving at the inside of Halliburton while he's under attack. As look at this, Jake Tucker going to dice for the first spot as well already. Going to drop back into 2nd in the King for turn number 2. But that was a very hungry thrust there by Jake Tucker.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on him for the rest of this race, because he's certainly not going to give up. He's going for that top position.
Yeah, it certainly is a fantastic run so far, but this is definitely hotting up here at the front. We've not seen this much action in a very long time here in Monday Night Skippies. It's back to the seasons 2014-2015 sort of time when things were very, very busy up at the sharp end. And now we've got a real battle, and we aren't really sure who's going to win from this group, of course. And there are 5 cars in this one that could have a chance. Wareham, Halliburton, Tucker, Tall and Cox, all within a shout of this. No runaway win for this race, Linus. I think we might have seen the end of those.
Yeah, Cox, he's just hanging on. He just needs these guys to battle a bit more in order to keep up. And then behind him, we got Neil Bunton, so let's not count him out just yet, because we know what can happen as we come towards the second half of this race. But it's going to be one to keep an eye on, because any one of these 5 or 6 cars can win at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Any one of these guys can win, of course. We'll look back at the fight with Plumley and Hefford, of course, and that's become a threesome now, as they've got Ben Daniels with them here. Hefford at the very rear, Ben Daniels in the middle, with Plumley out front. That trio racing kind of calmly right now. Brian Holmes, who didn't go at the start, Linus. His 34 Madhouse machine is right back there in 14th. Qualifying in 6th, not going on the start, back into the 20s. He's clawed his way back forwards. Now racing there with Ryan Terry, taking his spot for the 13th position there. We'll have to go after Adcock next, who is racing up there with Brian Loynes. This could be interesting. Nick Sigley, I apologise. He's going to go 3 wide there. Darrell Taylor in the number 22. Cuts and thrusts and slices his way through into that next spot. Move Darrell up, I think, into 14th with that one. 2 for the price of 1 as he loses the back end and slides it out.
Oh, and the car behind him as well.
Oh, will he get anybody? He did.
But I think that car kept on going.
Yeah, the car went on going for now, but I'm not sure if they picked up any damage, Linus. That, I believe, was 33 car there that made contact. That was the one that belonged to Nick Sigley, who took a bit of a bash from Darrell Taylor. They just knocked the nose cone off, but they also lost, I believe, I think that was Plumley at the time who had a bit of a problem, but we'll keep going from this.
Looked like Plumley got loose because of the car in front of him getting loose, so that was a chain reaction, but I don't think Plumley hit anything, actually.
He did indeed. By the way, Jake Tucker had taken the lead last time by, but by the time they got through turn number 1, Wareham and Halliburton managed to get back past Tucker, moved them back into 1st and 2nd. 3rd place is Tucker. 4th place, Tall, and of course, Cox in 5th. See, Gary Tall doesn't have to push Linus. He doesn't need to win the race. If he finishes where he is, with no Stuart Adcock, he takes 2nd in the points. That's a big deal for him. So he's pretty secure. Doesn't need to not finish at this stage.
No, he's taking it pretty easy, and he's getting company from behind now as well, so don't be too surprised to see Cox coming past here within a lap. But I don't know if Tall can stay this calm for the rest of this race. If he sees the win within reach on the last lap, maybe he's going to go for it anyway. Just hope he doesn't crash out.
I think at that point he could afford to basically limp to the finish and get points here, but right now it is Wareham and Halliburton, 2 relative unknowns in Gary Tall's eyes, who are fighting for the win in this one. Perhaps doesn't want to get too involved with those he doesn't really know. Good policy on life, but Jake Tucker moving forwards up into 3rd. He's had a win, of course, this season. Well, not this season, but last season already. So he's almost a known entity, even if he is a less experienced entity. He's had some great performances, and we'll see here the split between Wareham and Halliburton as they'll go side by side. Very defensive line by Wareham there, diving all the way to the inside to defend Sunset Bend.
It's interesting to see him do that. He's done that a couple of times in this race, really taking away the draft from Halliburton.
Oh, look at this.
Here comes Tucker.
Big dive, but it's not going to amount to anything for Jake Tucker as... oh, you know, there's several lines you can really take there in Sunset, Linus. There's no set racing lines. You can take a shallow run. You can arc a bit later. You can just apex sooner. As up the inside will go Jake Tucker inside for turn number 1. And we should see him take the lead, although looking to his low side was Halliburton. He's side by side there with Wareham, and it'll cost him time. Gary Tall in the wings, waiting for opportunity. Jake Tucker, though, into turn 3 will cement that lead. Yeah, Cox nearly threw it up the inside of Tall there. Didn't quite go for the move in the end, but holds his patience. This one is definitely hotting up here. Lap 7 of 10 so far in Monday Night Skippies. The final round of the season, and we're getting a race worthy of a final round, Linus.
Yeah, it's heating up to be a very good race here for the top 5, and Neil Buntum's behind him. He's falling back over a second a lap because he's not got the draft, unfortunately, so he's just going to have to hope for any one of these guys to crash out, which I don't think they will at the moment. We got side by side again. Tucker got a bit wide.
So he did. We're not seeing much other racing side by side. Of course, we do see Holmes and Middleton side by side a little bit further back in the pack, but we'll keep it on the lead group for now, as this one's definitely a bit more intense. As Tall looking at the inside there of Tucker, wanting to take that spot. Gary Tall knows it in there, not yet. So there's a caution. Matt Cox behind them, looking like he's waiting for an opportunity for this one. Jake Tucker's being a very excitable element in this concoction, Linus. He's all over the place. He's looking for holes, trying to find a way through traffic, and maybe a little bit rash at times.
Yeah, it's very much on the edge right now with the looks of it, but as long as he doesn't hit anyone, there's no problem with that.
That's absolutely true, of course, as we'll see what he can do with this. Has he got enough time left to do it? There'll be 3 laps to go this time across the line. 3 laps to make this one happen, and we have 5 possible contenders as everyone dives to the low side, then fans out wide across the back stretch here at Sebring. Again, the very super shallow line by Stephen Wareham, as he will look into Sunset Bend, pulls it out to get a better entry. Dive in, and oh, bit of contact there, bit of a tap as Tucker looks to the inside. Best run of everybody there is for Tall, but he can't use it. As Tucker up the inside there of Ian Halliburton. Can he convert it to a spot? It's not looking like having enough draft. Halliburton dives to the inside on Wareham as well. So Halliburton going to look for the lead here into 1 this time by. 3 laps to go, and Tall dives on Tucker. 2 wide, 2 deep into turn 1 here at Sebring. Monday Night Skippies is back. Halliburton, Wareham into turn 2. Tucker still looking for an opportunity, an opening with these two fighting each other and not paying attention to him. And right now, Halliburton just narrowly defends that. Oh, Tucker had to back out there and nearly rear-ended by Gary Tall, Linus, as it's 2 wide for the lead, running down to the old hairpin.
Yeah, it looks as if sorry, lost his name. Wareham is going to retake the lead again here, as Halliburton is on the outside, taking it very, very easy. Tall is definitely staying off Cox here. Tucker, sorry. Mixing up the names.
Certainly are, of course.
Tall really doesn't want to get involved too much in this, as he really wants to finish this, and Tucker is making a move again on Halliburton, as Wareham is actually trying to pull away now when they're going side by side behind him.
Wareham with a good advantage there, as Jake Tucker trying to get as involved in this medley as he can. Gary Tall, again, like we mentioned, Linus, trying to be the one being defensive, trying to protect himself from everybody else's shenanigans. Happy to ride here in 4th place, but will take a spot if it's offered to him, I think, at this rate.
Yeah, I don't think he'll back out for everything, especially the closer we get to the end, but I'm very surprised that Cox still hasn't made a single move on this group. He's looking a few times, but he's not tried to complete a pass on anyone. So maybe he's just hoping for a crash, or maybe he's just saving his car for the last lap.
I think he's being patient at this stage, of course, not particularly wanting to get too involved in this situation before it becomes any more intense than it is right now. Wareham, Halliburton, Tucker, Tall and Cox, your top 5, and you know what, the top 5? They're all within a second of each other here in Monday Night Skippies. Lap 8 now, there'll be 2 to go at the line. 5 cars could win this race. This is back to the old school days of Monday Night Skippies when things were busy at the front, and right now Jake Tucker looking to mix this one up. From newcomers, Halliburton and old hand Wareham in a new car. A line looking up to cross the start-finish line here. We'll see if Halliburton dives to the inside. He does. Halliburton into turn number 1. Tucker's going to follow him and try and hold the inside line. A hold Wareham up high. Gary Tall on the low side as well. Could they all push their way through here as Wareham holds the outside line for down towards turn 2. But Halliburton holds it on the inside. He'll have the racing line for turn number 2. Gets it clear through. Nicely made there by Kane Halliburton as he gets that spot secured. Wareham back into 2nd now. Tucker in 3rd, Tall in 4th. Matt Cox has dropped back a little bit. Again, being patient to the outside now. Responds. Stephen Wareham These two are scrapping so hard, Linus. I think, well, even Jake Tucker's backing out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if he backed out or if he made a mistake, but he's not getting as involved anymore now. I think he's just waiting for these two to crash, or maybe he's done something with his car. I'm not really sure, but it seems like he's not keeping up anymore as he did before.
Certainly will be, of course, as now up towards turn 8. It's too wide, too deep as Tall makes a huge move. Oh, contact! Big contact there with Gary Tall and Jake Tucker. And that's Matt Cox's opportunity. We'll get a replay of that one. Well, it's difficult to say there, Linus. Gary Tall kind of locked his brakes, I think. Replay for you on the screen. Gary Tall locks his brakes and goes straight rather than turning. Tucker turns it as normal. An advantage there to Matt Cox. He's been patient so far. He takes a spot. Might have a chance to make a second one if Tall is perhaps a little damaged from that contact. I don't think he is, but they've lost some time on Halliburton and Wareham. Maybe enough to break the draft. That could be critical.
Yeah, we'll see when they come out on the straight here, but they'll be side by side, and then the draft will go away straight away for the second place cars. So if they can just be a little bit within the draft, Toll will have a chance. Otherwise, we got Wareham and Halliburton racing this out for the lead, and Cox still not past Toll. I'm surprised by that. Oh, here he goes.
We'll have to keep an eye on this as he does. Matt Cox going for the move on Gary Tall. Goes to the inside there in Sunset, and he'll make the move through. Tall, very ginger. He actually backs out very easily for that one. Almost kind of jigs away from Matt Cox. As you can definitely see the intention. The close call with Jake Tucker has raised his awareness somewhat there, Linus, onto lap number 10. The final lap here. Gary Tall, he wants to finish now. He's happy with this. He's had his close call for the race. Now he's going to sit back and be careful. That means we might have a winner from these two. Stephen Wareham, Kane Halliburton, two drivers who have not won the season, who have not won yet. And this could be a very interesting conclusion if they don't wreck each other. Because Matt Cox and Gary Tall are waiting in the wings to take advantage of this. In Cox and Tall, that could be a podium for them. But Wareham and Halliburton, this could be a big one. No wins yet. Halliburton, a relative newcomer to the series, with a potential win in the cards if he can manage this one. That's the question. Can he get down to the hairpin? Who do we see coming out of Sunset at the end of the lap? That's the question we are all asking. Even Wareham, good run out of hairpin up towards turn 8 now. We've got 2 by 2 here, 2 pairs of 2. Wareham, Halliburton, Cox and Tall. Behind them, Tucker still limping. He's ahead of Neil Bontemps just, Linus, but he's in 5th place. Lost quite a bit of time. 3.5 seconds over your lead group. Couldn't hold on to 5th place though. It's up front, it's too wide. Wareham and Halliburton now. Bit of wheel banging there as they go too wide for the lead. Wareham shove it in, he does. But a better run by Halliburton. Can he convert that to a spot? Dives to the inside now as they're going to come up towards the runway section. And he's on the curbs. Will it be enough for Halliburton? Not quite yet. You hold it around the outside and keep it for the switchback. Just enough of an overlap as he just is left enough room, barely. We'll have a very good run here through Monte Carlo. Huge run there. You could see it at the start of the corner, Linus. Bit of a tap there. Massive run there by Halliburton. Up the inside now, running down towards Sunset Bend. Holman straight here, down towards Sunset now. Who will have it? It's 2 by 2. Paul up the inside of Cox. Halliburton up the inside there of Wareham as Wareham touches the back of his car and wiggles. Yeah. Oh, round goes Tall. This is what he didn't want to happen. Gary Tall had to finish. Can he get it moving again? Will he lose more spots? He does. Gary Tall will limp it across the line in the points, just enough to beat Stuart Adcock for 2nd place as Kane Halliburton will come home to win. Round 12 of Monday Night Skippys here at Sebring. And what a finale we had there.
And Tucker made it back up to 3rd place as well, so his race didn't
replay there, Linus. This is the incident we saw there between the drivers of Tall and Cox. And this is exactly what happened for you at home. The replay's up there, and you'll just see Tall got through, and Cox just ran him over. So Tall looks like he had a bit of a slowdown midway through the corner there, and
Cox just tried to cross over on him.
Yeah, tried to cross him over, missed, it just ploughed into him. And round they went. Cox managed to carry on, but Gary Tall down in 7th place. It's enough points for him, but he won't be happy.
No, that's a very unfortunate incident for these guys to happen, but at least they finished the race. Not the place, Cox would have won it, but hey ho.
And they are, of course, and well, we'll get your results right now. Coming home with the win, Kane Halliburton, a fantastic result from him. First win of his career in Monday Night Skippies. Stephen Wareham in 2nd place, with Jake Tucker finally getting back on the podium in 3rd. Neil Bontemps in 4th, with Matt Cox in 5th. Robert Plumley, 6th place. Gary Tall struggles home in 7th with the points to take 2nd in the points overall. Neil Middleton, 8th place. Brian Holmes in 9th. Bill Fraser, 37th to 10th. The wee Scotsman that could. That is one heck of a push from him. 27 spots gained. Well, folks, positions on your screen. Linus, that was a race to end the season.
Yeah, that was a really good race up at the front. Unfortunately, we didn't have all the 5 cars battling towards the end, but the guys who were left at the front, they still gave us a really, really good show, and we didn't know, even after the exit of the last corner, who was going to win it, so that was very exciting.
Yeah, it certainly was very exciting. Well, folks, we'll be just going for a quick commercial break. Join us in just a second for post-race interviews. There'll be some fun ones tonight. Talk to you soon.
When I sat in the car, you always wonder, what's it going to feel like? You know, it was my first time driving a mid-engine GT car. You know, my thoughts were, wow, this is really good for our first time in a car. I was really surprised by, you're sitting low, you got the A-pillars at steep angles, the windshield's at steep angles, you can see the fender flares. I think we have a chance to win. Everything's got to go right, but I think we have a car that can win the race or be on the podium. But can you imagine how cool that would be to go back 50 years later to the year and do it?
Welcome back to Monday Night Skippys here on RaceSpot TV. Rachel White, Linus Brostrom here with the results and post-race show. You saw the results a moment ago. Well, the final points are in. We can give you your top 5 in the championship. That is Tom Ward with the final championship take home. Gary Tall in 2nd. 3rd place, Stuart Adcock. 4th place, Bill Fraser. Mark Turner in the 5th spot. 6th place, John Sully. Gareth Dorning. Jake Tucker moves himself up to the 6th spot, 7th spot even. 8th place is Gareth Dorning. 9th spot is McFadden, and Watson in 10th. Linus, that was a fantastic one for tonight, and well, we've got Matt Cox to talk to right now. Matt, interesting end to that race.
Yeah, but I didn't think I'd ever be disappointed with 5th. That would normally be the best
Tell us what
result ever.
happened.
Well, the race started, somehow managed to get ahead and managed to stay with the lead group. They were faster than me. It was just draft that was keeping me up with them. And then basically coming to the last sort of corner, I was trying to get a run on Gary on the line, and from my perspective, it looked like he got himself straightened up, and I just preempted him hitting the gas, and he didn't hit the gas, and I just ran into the back of him. So I've apologised. So that didn't want to get 5th that way, but you know, best result of the season, last race.
It certainly was for you, and you know, let's celebrate that fact that you had a top 5 result there, which was a fantastic race from you. And all race long, The pace of performance, something to be proud of, even if this is about to be the most awkward interview in the world when we go and talk to Gary Tall right now. So thanks for joining us for that one, Matt. As Gary, you kind of didn't finish where you wanted to, but at the same time, you still finished and took second place overall. Congratulations.
Thanks, Rachel. Matt's got nothing to worry about. I mean, it's just one of those racing accidents. I mean, the same happened with me and Jake. I mean, people were using every sort of line. So with Jake, you know, he was moving around, and I went one way, then the other, and I just tried to get through. You know, I didn't mean to do that. So I'm sure Matt's the same.
Certainly was, but either way, you came home with the points finish you needed, of course, which gave you second in the championship. So a good season for you.
Yeah, not too bad. Shame Stewart wasn't here to have a fight tonight, but no, I'm pleased with what's happened this season.
It certainly was, of course, and a fantastic one nonetheless. Thank you for joining us, Gary Tull. Well, next up, we have a couple of banana miscreants with us, Barry West and Paul Thurston. Busy races for you two, Barry.
Yes, yeah, it was a bit hectic. It was very good. Apart from apologies to Luke Ashton Jones in turn one, I think my rear caught him. I think, but yeah, that was a fun race.
Certainly looked to be that way from your perspective, and Paul, that was hectic.
Well, it made a change to be hit by someone else in the second corner today. It was Seymour. He's apologised. I've never had a season like that. I think over 50% of the races I've not got through the first lap because someone's gone up my gearbox. It's just statistically infeasible. I was on the pace. I qualified, I think, 12th, which was actually genuine. Genuine pace, and I was fine running on long runs. I'd have been all right in the race. I suspect that would have been the top 10. I hadn't. I managed to avoid the car that didn't move off the line. That's twice that's happened to me this week. Happened to me in the Radical race the other day. Except that one, I stopped and someone slammed at the back of me. There's a theme going here. Is there something drawn on the back of my car, a target or something? I'm beginning to wonder.
I think you might want to check the back of your car. It might say kick me or punt me or something, but
well,
either
Gary
way,
does the paint
other
jobs,
drivers,
so it must be Gary.
We blame Gary for this. But before we let you go, Paul, the other drivers in this series have had seasons like that, and Nathan Davies is one that springs to mind. But next season, 2 weeks from now, we start a new season, season 3, 2017, a new vision, and possibly a new run for top 5 in the points.
Well, hopefully. I mean, other than this season, I mean, I've been top 10 and nudging the top 5 consistently. So I've got the pace. You've got to think that if it happens quite so often, I must be doing something wrong, but I can't think what. The only thing I can think to do is to get faster, so I'm further up the grid where it's possibly a little bit cleaner. I mean, that's what Gary's found this season. He's put that pace on, and he's getting the finishes. Whereas last season he had similar sort of season to me. So it's the way it goes. It really is just the luck of the draw. There's absolutely no malice in it from anybody, and it's not the same person. So it's probably not personal. But
the mid-pack scrum.
Yeah, it's that mid-pack scrum. Yeah. Well, it's personal in Barry's case, obviously.
Well, either way, a fantastic season from everybody involved. And Linus, some final thoughts from you on the 2017 season 2.
It's been a good season. I didn't see much of it for traveling and work and moving and stuff, but from what I've seen, it's been a very good one. Apart from the battle for the front, obviously, in the championship, but the races have been really entertaining, and I can't wait for the next season to start.
Absolutely, and same from me. It's been a great season. It's been a busy one. It's been dominated as well, but at the same time, there have been some breakthrough results and some breakthrough performances by drivers throughout the grid. Join us in 2 weeks' time for the 2017 Season 3 of Monday Night Skippies. We'll see you then. Have a great night. Enjoy Week 13.